Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning to all my lovely students in class. My name is Erin, and I will be guiding you through your practice this morning. So you might notice you have a little bit different view of the studio this morning. My finger got a little caught up in my dog's leash, and it's not feeling so good. So just to avoid having to put pressure on my hands, I won't be doing the full practice today. We have a lot of great models here in class. You can follow right along with them. So you're welcome to start in any comfortable position. Everybody here is lying down. You're more than welcome to lie down as well. Or if you prefer to start your class in a seated position, then you will sit up nice and tall, either with your legs crossed or sitting back on your heels. Just start to allow yourself to soften down into your mat, and allowing yourself to get nice and heavy. Start to breathe in and out through your nose. Giving yourself several moments, just settle in. Releasing any cares, any concerns. And making the next 75 minutes all about you. We'll begin to lengthen the breath as you're ready, inhaling fully down into your belly. Feel it rise up and expand. And when you're ready to exhale, just softly let it go. Good. Long in-breath, filling the belly, expanding the ribs. And release. Notice as that air comes in, it fills you with new possibilities, fresh ideas, fresh oxygen. And when you release, you're releasing anything that is unwanted, whether it's physical tension or any negative thoughts or emotions. Let's take deep inhales, belly to chest, and long exhales. Good. We'll get one more breath that way. And on our next round, we'll begin to bring activation on the exhales to start to fire up into the belly. So we'll inhale, belly expands, side ribs start to open. And as you exhale, the pelvic floor begins to squeeze up and the lower belly draws in towards the spine. Oh, I love that sound. Inhale, fill the belly, expand the rib cage. To exhale, pelvic floor lifts, lower belly draws in, and you're starting to feel a little heat there. We'll continue. Long inhales, subtly strong exhales. We'll continue these belly bonfire breaths for several rounds. This is a breath that I sometimes like to invite into my asana practice, going through the poses. It helps to keep me centered. It also helps me remember to use the deep core muscles to support and surround the spine, to make all of my postures more effortless and stronger all at the same time, cultivating a sense of strength and light within. We'll get 3 more of these for now. Taking them at your own pace. Noticing the subtle power of the exhales. And just one more. Beautiful. Take a few breaths in and out through your nose, just however feels right. Bringing your awareness to your head and your heart, just noticing any subtle changes that have already started for you here. Sometimes all you need is to take 5 minutes to sit with the breath, and the perspective can completely flip. We'll begin our class this morning by uniting our voices in the sound of Om. Let's take our right hand and place it over on top of the heart, and the left hand places over on top of the right. Take a moment here and just feel the beat of your heart beneath your hands. And then to begin for Om, we'll take a cleansing breath, and then followed by Om. Inhale together for cleansing breath. Release it away. Deep inhale for Om. Om. Have a lovely class, everybody. You can keep your eyes closed for a moment as you start to gently bring subtle movement into the body. This can be anything at all. It might just be your head rocking side to side or moving the arms and the feet around a bit. Eventually, maybe stretching arms long and back for a big stretch. We'll take the knees into the chest as you're ready, circling the arms around, hug the knees in, rocking a little side to side perhaps. We'll begin our warm-up this morning seated. So you can either rock forward and back or rock off to the side. Find a seated position on your mat. And if it feels comfortable for you to cross the legs in front of each other, we'll cross them in front. If it doesn't work off so well, because your hips and knees are a little uncomfortable, you could always sit up onto a block here. Let's take the hands onto the knees. As we inhale, we're going to start to dive a little bit forward and up. And as you exhale, tuck the chin, just let yourself rock back and round the spine. And we'll continue. Inhale, diving a little forward and up, finding that baby back bend there. And then exhale, just curling it in. And we'll get about 4 more or so. But since we're moving at our own pace, you might get more or less. So there's no real magic number, except for whatever your magic number happens to feel like in your body. So if I cue you to go into the next move, and you prefer to stay here for another moment or two, that's okay. Let's get about 2 more, I think. That's what my body's in the mood for in the moment. And 1 more. Good, let's rock back. Pause here, just round, really hold the front of the knees. You can bring your head a little side to side as you keep the chin gently tucked and just roll the head. Stretch out the neck a little bit. We're keeping the belly lightly engaged here to continue to support the spine. We're going to come back to the middle with the head and then continue on. Let go of your knees now. Inhale, sweep your arms forward and up. And as you exhale, we lean back, take fists into the hips and deep belly lift, leaning back a touch. Inhale, come up. And as you exhale, belly starts to catch you, come back. Feet might float up off the floor. I don't know. Inhale, sweep it forward and up. And as you exhale, rock back, pull the feet. Use the fists to help you feel stronger. We'll get 3 more lifting. And as you exhale, just kind of rocking back with or without lifting the feet. Inhale here. And exhale, pull back, feet might lift. Last time, lift on up. Exhale, pull back, and we'll all try to lift the feet here. We'll uncross, and then put the feet on the floor. I'm going to take the inside edges of the feet together. I can't quite make this mudra here, but you'll interlace all of your fingers except the index finger and reach those forward. Inner sides of feet pressed together. As you inhale, try to stretch through the legs, high hips, and then exhale, start to pull it back. Inhale, come forward, stretching hips and spine. Exhale, pull back, low belly hugs in. We'll get 3 more. Stretch forward and pull back. Last 2, stretching forward into the hips and pulling on back. Last 1, stretch forward through the hips and pull it on back. Stay leaning back, release hands. Now we'll find boat, taking hands onto the thighs, shoulders reach back. Maybe roll your ankles a little bit here. Both directions. You can always let go of your thighs, roll the wrists a little bit here. If it's a little too intense for you, you can bring your feet back to the floor. Maybe you start to find a little flow and just challenge your balance a little bit here as we're balancing in our boat pose for another moment or 2. Beautiful. Hold that last boat in your way. Maybe arms up, feet forward, flex ankles. Nice. And we'll bring the feet to the floor. Tuck your tailbone and start to roll your way gently on back. Nice. So we'll take the hands behind the head. Try not to interlace the fingers as you lay back. Sometimes that puts too much pressure. Just take your hands to the back. I'm going to lift the knees up over hips, flex ankles, and now we'll lift the shoulders. Coming into some slow boats here, take an inhale. As you exhale, press and cross it out. Inhale to the middle, exhale to the opposite side. Continue slow. Inhale, center. Exhale to one side. Inhale, center. Exhale to the other. Continuing on this pace, using your breath to dictate the pace. As the knees come in over the hips, try to stop them at hip height and notice how that's harder. Choose not to do that if it's too hard. We're going to start to go slightly faster now, just taking out the middle move. So inhale to one side, exhale to the other. Starting to pedal a little bit faster in our bicycle. For another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Take the knees in, give yourself a hug, rocking a little side to side. Let's take our hands now onto the knees. Start to open the legs away from each other and back in. Just massaging out the hip joints here. Letting your hands kind of go along for the ride, so feel your belly muscles kicking in as you move the knees. And we'll just start to circle the knees in the opposite direction. Still linking movement with breath, long, slow inhales and exhales. Good. As you're ready, we'll stop that movement. Knees come in for our last hug. Either rock forward and back a few times to make your way up onto hands and knees, or rock side to side to get there. We'll come into our tabletop position just briefly here for a couple cows and cats. As you inhale, we'll arch and look up. And as you exhale, curl and round, tuck the chin. Last 3, inhale, arch and look up. Exhale, big curl. One more time here. And curl. Good. Let's inhale to neutral, tuck toes underneath. And as you exhale, just press your fingers into the floor and lift your knees up off the floor into a hover. So they should just be about an inch or so off the ground. That's looking gorgeous, everybody. I can see the belly kicking in to help you sustain this. Start to shoot the hips a little bit further back as if you were going into down dog, and then finally find that downward facing dog. Hips are pressing up towards the back of the room. You'll begin to bend one knee at a time to just gently warm up through the back body, pressing all of your finger pads actively down into the floor. And maybe you let your heavy head just shake no. Releasing any final doubts, worries, anything you brought into class today with you. Just leave it for the earth to absorb. We're going to try a rolled plank here. To prepare, we'll bend the knees. And as you exhale, lift the hips. Try to roll one vertebra at a time into your high plank. On the inhale, bend your knees, feel yourself glide back into bent dog. Exhale, wave and roll through. Beautiful. Continue to practice these on your own. As you inhale, you pull back. And as you exhale, you find that rippling effect of the spine into plank. Take just about 2 or 3 more at your own pace. Really bringing your attention into the core, never letting the hips drop down too much as you come forward, always finding that deep belly activation. Those are beautiful. We'll get one last one and end up in high plank. Now work this plank. Press your fingers into the ground. Pelvic floor lifts. Lower belly strong. Take 2 breaths here. And release, really pressing back through the heels. Navel lifts up a little bit more. On your next inhale, drop your knees and the tops of the feet to the floor. And then as you exhale, lower very slowly all the way down, belly, thighs, chest. Rolling top spine, hands are just under shoulders. Tuck your chin, inhale, lift up and roll. Feel the strength of the back, look just a bit forward. And exhale, slowly roll it down. You'll take 3 more. Inhale, lift up, find that strength. Exhale, take it down. Last couple here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, trying to slide the shoulders away from ears here. One last one. We'll pause on this one. Press the fingers a bit more actively. As you sustain this pose, we're still feeling that deep belly draw in. One last breath in. As you exhale, press up through push-up and then to down dog by curling the toes and sending the hips up. One more breath in. And out. Coming to the top of the mat, inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, walk your feet right on up to the front. We'll find a nice half lift on the inhale, hands draw to shins, crown of the head actively forward, feel the belly support you. As you exhale, bend your knees and fall down forward, nice and soft. And I love to really feel the difference between those two. So as we inhale to half lift, feel the belly ripple and find that internal strength. We're super strong here. And as we exhale, we bow with soft knees, soft joints, and we surrender. Twice again, as we inhale, we cultivate that sense of strength, deep core strength. Exhale, we relax it all away. Last time, sometimes we need to be strong and provide the support, but other times we need to soften, allow somebody else to help, take a little bit of the burden away. As we're here, we're going to just continue to let all of that go, maybe swaying a little side to side. You can bring any little nuances you like here. You can bend one knee at a time. You can sink your head in little circles. We've got lots of different arm variations going on here in class today, so you're welcome to do whatever feels good for your practice. And we'll be here for last two. And last one. Nice. Let's release our grips here and get ready to come up. On the in-breath, we'll press away from the floor. Really feel the inner arches press. All the energy goes up through the spine as we rise to extended mountain. And as we exhale, we'll draw prayer, hands to heart. Lower belly draws in, hands to prayer. One breath. Let's flow. Inhale, arms sweep up, gaze lifts. As you exhale, bend the knees, gently hinge down to earth. Inhale, find your half lift. Exhale, hands plant, step it on back, downward facing dog. Take that nice hop like Erin, that was beautiful. Practice your rolled plank for me. Inhale, knees bend. Exhale, wave and roll. Gorgeous, Alyssa, stay right there for inhale. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga or the floor, your choice. Inhale to your up dog, coming on the tops of the feet, shoulders back. Exhale, deep belly pulls the hips up and back, just like there's a little string to help you get into downward facing dog. We'll take a breath in and a breath out. Take one more breath. I'm going to go through that again, but sneak a chair in there. So we'll inhale, look forward, knees bend. Exhale, walk or a little hop of the feet forward. Inhale to your half lift. And exhale, bow it down and fold. Rise all the way up on the inhale, sweep up, let your soul rise. Exhale, hands to heart, low belly draws into meet. And we'll get ready for chair. I like to take the arms up to begin with, feeling super long. And then on exhale, bend knees, start to take hips back. Arms can come forward. So continue to try to take the hips back as if there was something back there. If you could just shoot them back enough, you'd be able to tip your butt right onto the top of it. Everybody looks great here. You should be able to see your toes, so if you peek down and your knees are in the way, just try to slide them back a little bit more. We'll take the arms out into some cactus arms, so draw the elbows down a bit. Arms are maybe shoulder height or slightly higher. So there's a drawing down that's active, upper back muscles work, lower belly strong. We're going to just come halfway up, squeeze the belly. Exhale, sit on down as low as feels okay. Inhale halfway or so, and exhale down. Now as we come up just enough so we're not totally backing off that edge, and then coming back down. Last time, halfway up. Come on down and stay right there for another 3. Another 2. Another 1. Inhale, sweep tall, gaze lifts. Exhale, hinge and bow, forward fold. Inhale to your half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Plant the hands, walk or hop to a bent dog. That was beautiful. Let's roll the plank. Inhale, prepare, knees bend. Exhale, wave and roll. Take a breath in to feel your strength. Exhale, slowly lower to chaturanga. Elbows kind of graze the ribs. Beautiful. Inhale, up dog there. Stretch the shoulders back, nice and proud. Exhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Deep inhale. And exhale. One more here. 3-leg dog on the right side. Right leg kicks up long to the sky. You can bring a little movement back into your ankle if you need that. Or if you'd rather, bend your knee. Try to open the hip, reaching your foot over towards the opposite shoulder. We'll get lots of hip openers in our practice today. Here's a nice prep. On your next natural inhale, we'll kick the leg back up to the sky. Exhale for your tiger curl. This draws the knee into the chest. We still curl and try to lift those hips. Those are gorgeous. Give me another couple there. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, knee draws in. Each time you get stronger and knees higher. Take one last one like that. And then we'll sweep the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, knee to chest, pause, step to your right hand. We're first coming into our runner's lunge, so the back heel will stay lifted, front knee over ankle. If this doesn't work for you, you are welcome to modify in any way you need to. Let's rise up tall, high lunge. Belly starts to draw in. We're going to come back to those little fists of fire we did in the beginning, but here in a lunge. We'll inhale, straighten both legs, arms stretch up so tall. Exhale, both knees bend, fists come to hips. We'll get another 3. Every time you exhale, hug belly in and up. Another 2. Another 1. Good. Now we'll inhale, arms up. Exhale, bow forward, fingers back. Another 3 like that. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bow forward, press all that energy behind you. We scoop up the new and lift it to the sky, and we exhale whatever we don't want and we get rid of it behind us. It's all in the past. Last one, bow forward. We'll lift all the way up again here, and then shoulders draw down. Taking fingertips to the base of the skull, start to lift up and out. Pressing your head a little bit into the hands, elbows wide. Feel that nice, gorgeous, open heart position. Last 2. And last 1. Inhale, arms stretch up tall. And as you exhale, down dog. Hands plant to the front foot and step your way back. Whenever you're ready to come to 3-leg dog on the other side, go for it, no rush at all. Left leg up to sky. Maybe you work it first with hips both facing down, just to feel that. Moving ankle if you like. Eventually you might bend the knee and open the hip, and you can let the left hip now start to tip and stack over on top of the right perhaps. On the next breath in, kick your foot back. Exhale for tiger curl, knee lifts up high, round. Beautiful. Twice again. Knee in. Use the breath. Last time. This is your last time to kick it up high. Exhale, knee to chest. Pause there, and then try to step right to the left hand. Give it a little loving help with your hand if you need. Get ready for high lunge. Lift up, back knee can bend to help you lift from front spine, and arms draw down the back a bit. Give yourself a moment or two to feel comfortable here, making any adjustments necessary. Let's come in and out. Inhale, legs straighten and reach up. Exhale, both knees bend, fists come in. Feel your fire. Try it again, 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Coming into the bows now. Inhale, everything up. Front knee stays bent. Exhale, bow. Throw whatever it is behind you. We stay present. Scoop up the new. Exhale, release what holds you back. Last 2. Inhale and exhale. Get rid of it. Stay strong. Last 1. Good. Coming back to your lunge, effortlessly lifting up. Fingers towards the back of the head, lifting up and out. Pressing the elbows wide, maybe trying to press them a little forward, finding that pull push there, stretching up tall. Last 2. Last 1. Guys are great. Let's inhale, reach all the way up nice and tall. And exhale, hands to front foot. Step your way back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And back out. We're going to take that rolled plank into a side plank before we take a little break here. So let's bend the knees on the inhale. Begin to prepare. Exhale, roll your way forward into high plank. Then dropping your heels over to the left side. Right arm sweeps open to the sky. Now, a lovely modification here, should you choose to take it, is to drop the bottom knee down. You can see Carrie demonstrating that for me beautifully there. You can keep your feet staggered or make it more challenging by stacking them on top, like Erin up there in the front row. Something for everybody. Amy's got her back leg lifted. Last breath in. Exhale back to center plank. And press it back to down dog. Let's get off the hand a little bit. So we had a lot of pressure on that left hand. Like the right hand, take a little bit of the pressure off here. And we're going to take that rolled plank to switch sides. So bend your knees, prepare. Exhale, wave and roll to plank. Beautiful. Heels go to the right. Inhale, left arm to sky. Trying to lift it nice and high. Just reaching the hand higher might take the hips with. Feet can stay staggered, bottom knee can drop. You can stack the feet to make it a little harder. Hardest of all is to lift that top leg up. Just because you usually lift the top leg up doesn't mean today you can't drop the bottom knee down. Every day is a different day. Yes, we're still here. Last inhale. Exhale, come back to center plank. Bend your knees, bring it on back to downward facing dog. And now let's take a little break. Knees come to the ground. Find your child's pose, either opting to take knees together, rounding down here and just letting your back get nice and round and supported. Or if you'd like to start to follow the path to getting the hips more open, you'll let the knees splay open, big toes touch. Try to relax anything that's not needed to hold you. So the heart tries to melt down a little. Let your head find a place to rest. If it's not comfortable resting on the floor, you can bring a block under, or even fold your hands up underneath your head. I'm just going to stay here. Last 3. Last 2. And last 1. Beautiful. When you're ready, we'll make our way back up onto the hands and the knees. If you would like to stay in child's a little longer and you catch up later, perfectly fine. We're coming back into downward facing dog. Curl the toes, lift the knees up, hips start to shoot back. 1 more breath in. And back out. Moving back to the top of the mat, inhale, look forward, knees bend. Exhale, walk or take a little hop with the feet up to the top. We'll find our half lift. Inhale, hands to shins. And exhale, soften, bow down. Let your head be nice and heavy. One breath here. And then let it go. Rising up, inhale, sweep tall, extend your mountain, lift your soul. Exhale, hands come to the heart, and we bring all of that gorgeous energy back inside. We're coming back to chair here, arms sweep up, feet should be hips width. As you exhale, we'll sit the hips back. Find a comfortable chair for you, maybe not quite so deep as the one before. We're going to take this into a single leg chair, so we'll bring more weight into the right leg, lift the left heel, shift a bit. See if you can kick that foot forward. This might mean you're bending your right knee a lot less, totally fine. From here, try to stand up and take the left leg with. Ooh. Might throw you off, threw me off, all good. From here, we'll bend the left knee, coming to warrior three, either with the arms continuing to reach forward or drawing them to heart. Maybe arms prefer airplane, that's a little easier. Keeping the arms long and forward, bit more of a core strengthener here. Landing our foot to the back of the mat in warrior one, toes land and the heel drops. Keeping the arms lifted or lifting them back up there if you were anywhere else. Humble warrior, arms come out to the side, interlace behind. As you inhale, open up the chest, look up a bit. Exhale with a long spine, bow to the inside of your leg. We'll come up and down a couple of times. As you inhale, roll your way up, press to the front foot. And as you exhale, roll your way down. One more, inhale, roll your way up. And exhale, roll your way down. Let's stay down there. Let your arms be active as you reach interlaced fingers to sky. If this is bothering you at all, you can let your hands come down to the floor. Continue to use the deep belly to support the body. Try to take it to the inside of the leg if you can. If you need to lean on the leg, you can do that too. One more breath in and out. Good. Let's just drop the hands to the front foot and start to walk your hands over towards the left side of your mat. Step the left foot back in line with the right. So now here we are in a wide leg forward fold. So for here, we are most likely feet are exactly in the same line. Maybe you bend one knee at a time and start to add gentle side lunges in to warm up hips and inner thigh. We've got the outer edges of the feet parallel to the edges of the mat. Or if it feels better to start to let the toes turn out at all, you can always let for that to happen. One more breath in. And out. And in. And out. All right, let's settle in the middle. We're going to get ready to pop up into a goddess. So take the toes out and heels in. We're already going to start to bend the knees here. Belly is strong. We're going to try to sweep up through inner arches and inner thighs to take our way up into goddess, but we'll take the hands onto the thighs here. Leaning slightly forward. This will make sure that your knees don't start to press forward. We want the knees right over the ankles. Let's come back to those fists of fire here. Inhale, straighten everything up. Exhale, bend. Last 6. Last 5. 3. No, 4. Because I did a wacky number 7. I don't know where I got that from. And now I lost count. Let's just do one more. Stay low. Arms up, open the shoulders. You can stay right here, find a little movement. One more breath in and out. For greater challenge, let's try to lift the right heel. Eeks. Take it down. Lift the left. Oh, it's a little slippery. Bring it down. Inhale all the way up, toes point forward, arms up. And exhale, hands draw to heart. Let's find our warrior two now on the right. So pick up your right toes, open up the arms. Toes will point to the front of the room. Bend your knee. So with the right knee bent, it's pretty much stacked over your ankle, might be a little bit backed off. Back foot's in line, or parallel rather, to the outer edge of the mat. Or the left toes might come in a bit at an angle towards the upper left corner. As you reach long through your fingers, the shoulders actively drop down. Bring your gaze to your right thumb. Let's flip the palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And as you exhale, hand comes onto the shin, keeping knee bent. Then start to straighten the leg out to come into triangle pose. You know, you can either keep your hand on the shin, or if you have a block nearby, you might bring the block to the inside of your right foot. Let your hand rest on the block. Trying to open the hips towards the ballet bars. Taking another 3. Another 2. Another 1. Getting ready for our half moon transition. To find it, we'll bend the front knee again, reverse all the way back to reverse warrior. And then as you exhale, start to come back where you were coming forward, hand onto the block or onto the ground. Press off the right leg and stretch the left leg up. Glutes super tight. Flex your left leg or your left ankle. And have you ever picked something, a little child up, and they want you to pick them up and they make themselves nice and tight and light? That's where I want you here. So firm everything, squeeze. When they don't want to be picked up, they get nice and heavy and kind of loose. It's going to make it harder here too. Get ready to land back in warrior two when you're ready. Beautiful. If you're not ready, you don't land yet. Let's get ready to flow. Flip the palm, inhale up and back. Exhale, cartwheel hands to floor. Step back to downward facing dog and take a couple of breaths there. Just check in with the body. Notice any differences you're feeling between sides. Any differences in your state of mind or anywhere in the body. You can stay here, or if you'd like to add a little rolled plank vinyasa, you're welcome to. We'll be here a couple more breaths, so if you'd like to take that shift forward, go right ahead. Adding in a little extra push-up, little extra back bend, some of you there. And then finally we'll all arrive back in down dog when we're ready. And we're going to start our travels back to the top of the mat for the other side. Inhale, look forward, knees bend. Exhale, walk or take a little hop forward there. Beautiful. So feet, hips width apart in preparation for chair, which is coming soon. Let's inhale the arms all the way up overhead. And then as you exhale, we'll sit right back into chair, hips back, arms maybe a little forward or off to the side, cactus arms. Squeeze, engage, lift belly. More awareness in left foot. Pick up the right heel. Kick the foot forward. Let's see what we can do. Trying to keep the knee bent for a little bit. Still trying to keep the right leg lifted. Start to stand. Take it with you. Nice job. Last 2. And 1. Bend your knee. Warrior 3 or airplane. Warrior 3 can have a couple of different ways here. Arms might continue to lengthen forward. You can do that Charlie's Angels mudra again here that we did earlier. Hands to heart perhaps, or arms side to side, airplane. You want your gaze to be in front of you, not down, so look a little bit forward. We'll land it in warrior 1 as you're ready, so right heel lands to the back of the mat. Arms reach up tall, shoulders retract down, belly fires up. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, arms out and around to interlace. Inhale, open chest. Exhale, bow forward inside of your leg. We're going to come up and down a few times through the spine. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, bow it down. We'll get one more little rolly here. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, take it on down, and we'll stay. Maybe you make it easier on yourself by taking the hands down, or if your shoulders need this, we're going to stay there for another 3, 2, and 1 more. All right, nice. Let's take the hands down to the front foot. Start to walk them over towards the right side of your mat. Realign your feet so that they are now in one line. Coming right to goddess here, toes out, heels in. Start to feel the deep belly fire up. And then sit your way up. Thumb and forefinger together. If the knees come forward, we lean the body forward a bit. It's going to put a little too much pressure on your knees. If you're feeling any pressure on the knees, you know how to adjust it. Just shoot the hips back. Let's play with the heels again. Let's take an inhale and lift the right heel up. And exhale, place it down. Lift the other heel, inhale, place it down. Other side, lift and down. Woo, other side, lift and down. One more each way. Lift and down, lift and down. Either keep both heels down or lift them up as we try to balance on the balls of the feet for 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Drop the heels. Come all the way up. Heels pivot out. Inhale. Exhale. Hands to heart. Warrior 2. Pick up the left toes. Pivot on the heel. Toes point forward. Bend your knees. Spread your wings. Fingers are nice and open. Energy radiates from both legs, arms, and top of the head. Take a big breath in. And out. Actively draw the shoulders away as if I was coming down on the top of the neck and the back and just kind of softening there. Let's get ready to move on here. Flipping the front palm. We'll inhale, bring it up and back. Exhale, hand comes to the shin, and then we start to straighten for triangle. Or if you do have a block, that might feel even better to just bring it right underneath your hand. We're trying to spin the torso to face the side wall. Last few here. One more. Let's prepare for half moon. Bend the front knee. Inhale, sweep up and back just to get out of that leg for a moment. Exhale, begin to come back forward. If your block is available, take it with as you press off the back leg. So instead of being kind of hanging here and heavy, we press up and away. So we could be here, or we can be here. Press up and out in all directions. You guys are remarkable. Last few. Last one here. Landing back in your warrior 2. Try to take a nice slow ride if you can. We land it, and we landed, and we're done with that. Flip the front hand, reverse warrior inhale, all the way up and back. Exhale, cartwheel hands to floor, step back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. And back out. Coming to the top of the mat for one last standing balance. Inhale, look forward, knees bend. Exhale, walk or take a little hop forward. We'll take a half lift as we breathe in, nice and strong through the center. Nice job. Exhale, fold it down. Rise to extended mountain all the way up. And hands to heart. Let the low belly come in and up. Coming to our standing figure 4 pose. If that's too much for your hips, you could sub in a tree instead, which would look like this, foot to the inner leg. To prepare for figure 4 with hands at heart, start to find a little bit of a baby chair. Just a little one. Shifting the weight again into the right leg, lift the left heel perhaps. Start to take the left leg up and over and cross it on top of the knee. And once you're here, you kind of just feel it out. You might be able to crouch down more deeply. You might discover your deepest is more up here. Some of you might be able to get the forearms towards the shin. Others might decide they want to take the balance a little bit out of it to get a deeper hip stretch by taking hands to the floor and getting a little heavier. Taking another breath in and out. If the spirit moves you to go somewhere funky, like into a twist or anywhere like that, let your spirit fly free. That's why we're here. Last 2 breaths. Gorgeous practices. One last breath. All right, let's try to come out in the reverse way. So we go slowly if we can. Coming back to that little chair crouch, and finally foot down, both arms up. And we'll take a pause in a forward fold. Bend the knees, come all the way down again. Maybe this time you grab opposite elbows for ragdoll, head heavy. You could instead swap it for your Pada Hastasana, foot to hand pose, or gorilla pose, sliding your hands under your feet from the front. When I do this pose, I like to give my palms a little massage, so I'll just take my toes and kind of knead the heels of my hands. We'll take another 3 here. Another 2. Some of you doing your Pada Hastasana with hands under the heels from the back. That's another lovely variation. So feel free to try things out. Nice. We're going to get ready to come out whenever you're ready. You'll release any grips you're working with. Inhale, we'll find that strong half lift to begin with. Exhale, forward fold. Let's rise up, sweep up. Right away, hands to heart, sit to chair. We know where we're going. Start to get ready. Right heel lifts, foot crosses over. Find your balance here, your stability. The more you engage your hands together, the more the core might fire to keep you a little taller, starting to sink into a deeper crouch, perhaps. Maybe forearms towards the shin. And then finally, if you want to bow all the way forward in a forward fold, pressing the chest into the leg, the hip will open up quite a bit. Playing around with any variations you're working on, or maybe you're rocking your tree pose. This is your practice, not mine. Simply guide, simply here to suggest. Last few. One more or so. It's time to come out, but do it mindfully. Savor every last inch as you rise. And then finally, place your foot down. Do whatever it is just to get any last little bit of tension out of the body. It might be swinging arms side to side. It might be a stretch that feels needed for you. So just take a moment or so. Maybe you need to just grab your drink, whatever you need to do. We'll be here just for another moment or two. Just let yourself do what feels necessary. And then when you have found that place where you are ready, we will come back to mountain pose, feet ground, palms forward, shoulders heavy. Maybe eyes closed for a moment. So we're standing, relaxed but strong at the same time. Imagine how when you gaze out at those mountains, they look so peaceful, but they are so strong. And so are we in this moment, the only moment that matters right now. Opening the eyes, we'll prepare to start to travel down. Inhale, arms sweep tall, gaze lifts. Exhale, softly bow your way down to earth. We'll inhale and find half lift. Exhale, hands to floor, make your way back to downward facing dog, taking a breath in and out. One more round there. It's find one more waved plank. Inhale, bend knees. Exhale, wave and roll one vertebra at a time. That was gorgeous. Stay there, inhale. Exhale, lower all the way slowly to the earth. And this time when you get there, you can completely relax. Let your arms get floppy alongside. Tops of feet rest to floor. And bring your head to face the right. Just get a nice little stretch for the neck. If it feels good to bend knees and flip-flop the feet side to side, windshield wipering, you can add that. If it's not serving you, don't bother. Sometimes I like to have them go opposite directions and wave them in and out towards each other. So you can play around. Clap your feet together like a little seal if you're playing. Feeling playful here. Just another moment. That's pretty flexible if you were to do that. And we're going to start to move on. She's literally like got her heels together and tapping her toes. I'm impressed. We're going to take our way into some back bends here. We're going to start off with cobra. So we'll come back to bring the gaze down. Hands to the shoulders underneath, or this time you might sneak them a little bit closer down to the chest. Press tops of the feet actively into the floor. Knees might even lift up. Kneecaps might lift up off the ground. Let's take a breath in, and as we exhale, we'll lift and roll our way up this time, and we will stay right here. You could start to press up a little more, but if you feel anything in the lower back, you come back down and try to pull a little bit forward. Elbows try to wing in. If they're winged out, just gently engage them in. Play around with those little differences and see how those changes affect you. One more breath in and out. Last breath in. And as you exhale, lower down with intention, nice and slowly, arms alongside, face your head left, and just take a brief moment there, stretching the neck in the opposite direction. One breath here. We're going to take a quadricep stretch here on the right. So I like to prop myself up on the left elbow. So I'm getting a little work here. Left elbow a little bit in front of the shoulder, and the arm is perpendicular, so parallel to the top of the mat. Reach back for your right foot. And you can grab the top of the toes and start to pull down. You can either stay high, or I feel like I just want to relax today, so I'm going to let my body come back down. Chest just rests. If this is too intense or isn't working for you, you could always lay on your left side and do it on your side instead. And if you want, you can even lift the right thigh up off the floor a little bit. Just playing around with what works. Last two. Last one. Let's release the right leg. Prop yourself up onto the right elbow. Let your arm come parallel to the top of the mat. Bend the left, reach back, catch the foot, start to pull it in. So I'm grabbing on the top of the foot rather than the ankle here. Foot is long. You can stay high or let yourself rest, putting your forehead down on the forearm and just taking a more relaxed version, taking the back bend out of it. Or maybe you're keeping the back bend. One is not necessarily better than the other, since we are all different. Every day is different. Last few breaths here, deep, long breaths. Start to maybe push the pelvis down into the floor a little bit more, or lift the left knee and just see how that changes things. If you get that left thigh up off the floor, it's a little deeper stretch. And when you're ready, let's take that down. We've got one last thing to do down here. So we will leak our left hand, reach it forward, bend the right knee, reach back. We're going to catch the ankle here now, or the foot, whatever you can do. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, start to kick the right foot into the right hand. Lift your head up off the ground. You can press the top of the left foot and left finger pads actively into the floor, or lift left arm And left leg, nice and long, still kicking into the right hand. Last few breaths. 2 more. Last one. Inhale, kick up a little higher. Maybe release the back leg, right arm forward, both legs up. And now we're done. Oh yeah, other leg. Bend the left leg. Set yourself up. Right arm across maybe to grab the foot, however you need to set it up, but eventually right arm reaches back forward. On an exhale, kick left foot into hand. Right fingertips, right foot, press into the floor long. Or, over time, reach the right leg and the right arm long as well. We've got a back bend on the left, lengthening on the right. Gaze straight down to the floor here. Last few. Almost there. One more. If leg and arm are off the ground, maybe you release leg, left arm reaches forward too for one last hurrah. And then bring them all the way down. You can bend your knees, flip-flop the feet a little side to side. And then from here, we're all going to make our way into a hip opener. I will give you 2 choices. You can come into traditional half pigeon, or you can roll over onto your back and give it a figure 4, which is a bit more gentle. If you're going into half pigeon, you can come right onto hands and knees. You don't have to always start in your downward facing dog. We'll take the right leg back, just stretch it back a little bit, and then slide the right knee forward so it lands behind the right wrist, and lengthen the left leg back. Now, if you would like to try the figure 4, I've got Carrie and Amy right there showing those beautifully. That's another option for you. You might want to take a block under the right thigh if you're in your traditional pigeon, so you're not sinking in to the right side. And then eventually you'll just start to lay your chest down towards the earth. Once you get down there, we try to be as restful as possible. Slowing the breath down if it hasn't already slowed. Allowing the belly and the heart to be soft. The mind may be still. Deep breaths in and out. Last few here. One more. If you're in your face down pigeon here, we're going to add a little bit of a side bend in with it. So we'll just begin to lift the head a bit up off the floor. And then walk both hands off your mat over to the left, away from the front hip. Feel that stretch go all the way down the right arm, right rib cage, down into the outer right leg, into the hip area. One more here. Good. Over your next breath or so, you'll start to make your way back to center, lifting up the chest. If you're on your back with your figure 4, you can come on out, give yourself a little hug there. We're going to make our way into down dog. Curl the back toes, lift yourself up and back. I'm in my one-handed downward facing dog here. That's a fun one. And from here, after you take a moment to just pedal out the feet, we'll bring ourselves back onto hands and knees. Slide the left knee forward. Slide the right leg back. Let your left shin just go at whatever angle it's happy to be. And then we'll bend maybe slowly. Bow down here over the left leg. Always setting everything up slowly. The more slowly we arrive into our postures, less likely we're going to overdo it. Just because you did it one way on the other side doesn't mean you have to do it the same here. So you might flip over onto your back if your left knee and hip have something going on. Let yourself really be in this moment. Forehead relaxes, jaws relax. That sense of ease spreads across the neck, shoulders, into your heart. Let yourself be just as you are. One more this way. Adding in the side bend here, we'll start to walk the hands just a little bit closer to lift the chest up for a moment, and then begin to walk the hands over towards the right. Press the left hip away, reach long through the right hand. Deep breaths. Last two. Last one. Walking your hands back towards center and peel the chest open. Last down dog for those of you who are in your prone pigeon. Take it back just to stretch out evenly. And then we will be joining the other yogis on our backs to close things out. Just let your knees drop. Roll over onto your back. And once you get there, we'll just hug those knees into the chest. Just like we started, rocking a bit from one side to the other. Letting anything go here, any movements. Coming into a big stretch for the right hamstring. Let's take the right leg up to the sky. Now some of you will keep your left leg bent and the left foot onto the floor as you begin to walk your right hands up the right leg to wherever is comfortable. Others will start to straighten the left leg out. You'll notice that intensifies things quite a bit. We're trying to anchor both hips down into the floor, so I tend to use my hands on the leg more so to pull the right leg down towards the ground rather than yanking it towards my nose. So I will take that a little, but not so much. As you're here, try not to crunch into the right side too. So another adjustment I like to give myself sometimes is to take my right hand, slide it down towards my right hip crease, and just barely press away a little bit there. And it just gets a little bit deeper. One more round. And then we'll find our way into a twist. So we'll bend the right knee, take it into the chest. Right arm out to the right, left hand on to the right knee, and the right knee will cross over the body, and you'll just let yourself lay on the left side. And as we're here, we're trying to spread the chest nice and open. Closed eyes can face the sky, or they might turn in the direction of your outstretched arm. Last two. And last one. All right, let's inhale back to center. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll take the left leg to the sky. Right sole of the foot might be on the ground with a bent knee. Maybe just start there to check in. Start to walk your hands up the left leg. Use your hands to find the stretch that feels best for you. Maybe taking the leg a little more down to earth. Possibly you are straightening out the right leg here. Last few moments. One or two more breaths. Starting to get ready to transition into our twist. We will bend the left knee now, bringing the knee into the chest. Right leg will straighten out if it's not already straight. Right hand on the knee to guide it, left hand out to side, palm down. Let the knee cross over, roll over onto the right side. Maybe turn your head to face over to the left. Deep breaths in and out. Allow all the tension to drain from the face. Release from shoulders. Spine's relaxed. On the next breath in, we'll unwind. And then our final two here, we'll find happy baby, feet to the sky. Bend your knees. You can grab anywhere on the outer legs as you bend the knees. You can grab the outer shins. You can also reach up, grab the outer sides of your feet if that feels good. Sometimes I grab my ankles and press my elbows into the inside of my knees, so really just play around. If your hands are on the inside of your feet, you won't get quite as deep of a stretch, so you can play around there too. And we'll just be here for another 4. Another 3. Sometimes I start to play around, straightening one leg out, keeping the other one bent. Maybe switching sides as we can take our last 2 breaths or so. Some days I like to go both straight. This is our final round of breath, so either both legs open and straight, both knees bent. Wherever you are is where you should be. Our final pose here is reclined bound angle. Take knees back to chest, maybe just to unload the lower back, and then take feet to the floor. Edges of feet come to the floor as the knees drop open. I like to add a little spinal traction in now, taking the hands onto the tops of the thighs, heels of hands into the thigh crease, and just very gently start to press the tops of the legs away. The knees can rock gently side to side or just stay as is. And then either staying with that or relaxing completely for your last few breaths. Arms lay alongside. Eyes are soft. All of the muscles of the face soft. As you let yourself just fully be here now. This will be our last pose before our Shavasana. If something else feels needed, feel free to add in any last posture at this time, any last natural dynamic movement, or maybe Shavasana is where you want to be. Wherever you want to be is where I want you to be. Finishing up any last poses you're working on. And then eventually we'll all find our stillness, allowing the legs to lengthen down the mat as you arrive in Shavasana. Or if your lower back is happier with your knees bent and your feet on the floor, then please find that variation instead. Release any final feelings, cares out into the wind. Not asking you not to have them. That's what makes us human. Having emotions, having complex thoughts, right? So these are all good, beautiful things. But the key is not to allow them to consume you, but rather to notice and learn. Not getting stuck in the same patterns of thought that just keeps us spinning, but rather always evolving and growing. Not in competition with anyone else, but simply growing and evolving. As you're here, you allow for whatever to come up, and we just sit with it. without paying it too much worry, simply being aware. And here we stay for our last few moments together. Starting to breathe a bit more deeply, breath by breath. Nothing jarring, everything subtle and soft. Over time, over several breaths, the breaths will start to lengthen and maybe start to feel a little more powerful as you start to bring more energy back into the body, simply by deep, long breaths in and out. Bringing any subtle movements back in here, just like we did in the beginning. Fingers, toes might move, fingers, and head might rock from side to side. Maybe once again, taking that big, long stretch of the arms back. And then we will close as we began here. Hands rest over heart, right hand on heart, left hand over right. Just allow the arms to rest easy on the chest. Take a moment to thank yourself for making time for you. Maybe commit to making time for you every single day. For our final Om, we'll take one breath to prepare. Deep breath in and out. Inhaling for Om. I thank you all so much for joining me this morning and allowing me to be a part of your yoga practice. The love and the light within me deeply honors the love and the light within you. With honor. Namaste. Thanks everybody for joining me this morning. Thank you Facebook. Thank you Instagram. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks again.